Collective, and welcome to Soul Measure again. Yeah, so after, I kid you not, I was rolling over in my sleep last night, and I heard the wind sounded like there was about to be like a blizzard coming through. You know that sound it makes, like when I never heard that before in the entirety of my life. Haven't heard the wind blowing like that, you know. In the dead of the night, it was just the wind. And my thought was, like a thief in the night. So, there's been a lot of people who, they're dying on their heel. I get it. And they made their decision. I respect that. Whatever that decision may be, I respect it. And yeah, like a thief in the night. And then I started saying, blood above yours, but it wasn't lamb's blood. I was able to tell the difference in a half sleep state dream. I do not know. I honestly don't know. And honestly, I got on here not knowing what else I was going to talk about besides that. So, yeah, there's there's people still, about it, but the energy isn't, as like, I'm screwing with you as it was before. Like, it was hardcore. Like, you can feel when that energy is directed. Like I was saying, in my last video. So yeah, I just finished swimming, honestly. So I'm kind of like on a cloud nine. I love the water. So, it's just you and, when you're swimming underwater, it's like you and your bullshit, and that's it. That's all you have to do. You don't have to do any external opinions and whatever, other external intentions and all that other stuff. It's just you and your bullshit, not everybody else's. Which I love. I like dealing with my own bullshit. I don't like, I'm not privy to dealing with other people's bullshit. I mean, I know it's part of life and everything like that, but hey, yeah, I get by myself as much as I can these days, to do my shadow work, to work on myself. And, we've all been in situations where we didn't handle things the best possible way, or, the best ways, or we handled it the only way that we saw fit at that moment, when we felt like we were just out of options and things like that. And that's what, these demonic people with the demonic attachments like to make you feel like you have no other option to express yourself other than to be harsh and crass and rude and disrespectful, and I got dragged into that for a little bit. And then it got to a point it was just so stupid I had to laugh. I had to laugh my way through it. Because, they're sitting there just draining, trying to drain me, and it's just like, no. Like, the only thing that's going to happen is the Most High is going to replenish me, and that's going to be that. And they say your enemies will be your footstool, and that's exactly what has happened in this case, I'm just playing it by ear at this point, because this is a fresh start, a fresh new mindset, a fresh, perspective, so to speak, and a friend, I just cut some cords, and I cut some serious cords that have been like trying to attach me and siphon, have been attached and siphoning from me, without my consent. Like, I never consented to any of this BS. Of course, they would call it consent by defending myself by engaging in the way that I did, but it absolutely was not. This is never something I'd ever agreed to, because I've never been like this. Even as a child, I wasn't this childish. As childish as like the people that were trying it like that. It was just like not beyond my comprehension, but it was just like, there's no way that this is not intentional. That's the mindset I was thinking, like, this has to be like intentional. There's no way this cannot be intentional. Nobody is this dumb. But it's just like these narcissists, like I was saying, that they get stuck at the high point of their life, and sometimes the highest point in their life is high school. They never quite graduate from that mentality that and throwing tantrums. So I would say maybe the mentality of a middle schooler or 8-year-old. I'll even go as far as to say an 8-year-old, in a adult body. Because it's just like, of course, as we all have seen from the situation with age does not always come wisdom. Because there's a bunch of old fools out there. And I know it, somewhere it says don't call a person a fool, but they acted, they did the fool every day consistently. They chose that. Every day consistently I transmute that and work on myself and try to better myself. And they had people team up to go against me, right, and try to drag me back to the old me. So, and that's what they do. They want you, because that's the part that they can resonate with. That's the highest part that their intellect will reach. It's dragging you back to your old self. They don't reach a much higher intellect than that because they haven't done the work. They haven't built the strength, conditioning, the endurance. They haven't built anything except for blocks, that brick wall to keep you where you are. But they didn't know we can high jump. And like I'm getting a bunch of different songs. I'm like trying to pick one. It's just kind of like scrolling through Spotify or something like that, which is, I love that platform. Spotify is the issue. Some of us have been like, we've been cutting cords and we've been getting these messages through songs, because these people, they're missing us. And it went through phases where they were just like, sounding they were in this last phase, they were sounding very apologetic, right? And you kind of hear in the songs what's going on with the karmics that they chose over you to go and do this bullshit against us, like One Good Reason by Dru Hill. What is it? What's the name of that song? Pass You By Boyz II Men. I think it's Boyz II Men. Don't let real love pass you by. Don't have to stay with someone that makes you cry. You'll end up killing all the love you have inside. Can't hope to see the sun if you don't open your eyes. Don't let real love pass you by. And that's what they really did try to stop people from seeing the sun in you, right? And they tried to kill all your love so that sun would go out. When you're a star energy, they try to dim your light. And I think it's pretty obvious by now. Lighting someone else's candle won't stop yours from shining, from burning, man. It's just like nothing wrong with helping people. There's nothing wrong with showing love to people, even if without the intention of reciprocation. There's like absolutely no, because it's like you pay it for it, count it on joy, and keep it moving. Eventually, you'll be rewarded in some way, shape, or form. But just like do it also not for reward, but do it from the kindness of your heart. If that's who you are. Gratitude is another big one too, because these people weren't grateful for shit. Like they just just everything. There was a problem for every solution. It's just like they were like digging a grave for you, but didn't realize that the dirt they were digging was from under their own feet and landed on the top of them. It was like no, there was a lot of lip service with them. A lot of harsh words and attempts to hurt feelings and stuff like that. And it's like, if you're mature about the situation and willing to grow and learn from the situation, if you don't grow, you don't go. You don't go anywhere. Quite literally, like you just basically a stick in the mud, right? It's a flat tire. It's a term I got from a military guy at one point. They're flat tires. They don't get you anywhere. They're just like, they need to be filled up with air and like be made useful somewhere, or like left on the side of the road or something, or thrown into a recycle bin, some shit like that. Oh, the camera's crooked. What is that? I don't have a real focal point right now, and I think that's my problem. I don't have a focal point. Like I have I'm trying to go with it, but I don't have a real focal point. It's like it's a strange thing. It's a strange place to be in right now. But I'm just like in a mix of like taking care of all the stuff I need to take care of. And I think that's what really has me distracted from my messages at, at this point. So I'm in a very like masculine mode. I'm in my masculine energy, focused on just getting it done. Because one thing I'm gonna do is handle business. I'm gonna do what I need to do, and keep it pushing. And so like, no, I'm not out here hurting. I'm not out here really drained. I'm just like trying to see if I need to bottleneck my interest or my projects and stuff like that. But they all come back together as one. Believe it or not, it's just like I'm trying to have branches to it, and I guess I should just focus on the one and build up that repertoire and everything like that. So yeah, they wanna kill your love, the love you have for anybody but them. And then they don't even want real love from you. They want they want a codependent situation. They want you to depend on them. They don't care about your love. It's just like what's that song? I think I sang this before. I don't need a symphony. I just want your voice and a melody. I don't need your diamond rings. I just want your love. Stop selling me. So it's just like they rather be sold to. The game is to be told, not sold. It's kind of like a job. Like if a job is really like this, that, and the third, if it's really the bee's knees, the greatest of all things, the greatest thing since sliced cheese, they don't need to sell you a damn job. Like a job is something you actually need. Like if they gotta sell you a job, trust me, it's a bunch of bull BS in there that you do not need. If anything has to be really sold to you, and you don't see the value or the need in it, I'd say 6 times out of 10 it's a bunch of nonsense. It's nothing wrong with giving a listening ear to see what what it has to offer you and how it could benefit your life. But a lot of the times, if it has to be sold, like one thing, the difference I noticed between people in car salespeople in California and Texas is that that like they already know the value of a car. A vehicle is like what you need to get to work. So it's like there's no need to sell. You could sell a certain type of vehicle to get your commission up. But the customer usually comes in with an idea of what they want, which is usually a commuter car, a way to get around. And if and then you go, they have different dealerships for different type of cars, like exotic cars, expensive cars, cruisers, things that you just want to ride around, look good in, just joyride and everything like that. So there's a time and a place for everything, right? Different energies and everything like that. So if you want like a energy that man, I just want to be seen, you go to one of these exotic car places and pay for it, and or fill out an application or whatever it is that these people do for these exotic cars and stuff like that, and these exotic trips to are they still doing trips to Dubai? I don't know. But yeah, like they would rather, because they don't have any love within themselves. Like they have to, because they've been so drained by whatever it was that drained them from childhood till now. They never healed from that, so they never refilled their own cup. Like the most important thing is to always be able to fill your own cup, always be able to nourish yourself. Turn this AC on, it's kind of hot for the winter. Jeez, man. And that they refuse to do the work because they see and doing solitude is weak. They see everything that the collective does is weak, and everything we do is really and truly out of love. Even when we're we're low on energy, we're drained, and we have the world against us. I couldn't find it within myself to hate anybody who came up against me. I still can't find that in me to hate somebody. I can't even really dislike a person. I'll straight up remove myself from that person in the situation, or sabotage it, so that I do get removed and I benefit somehow. Can't say that happened all the time though, but I would just stop caring. Dislike is not my thing. It takes more energy. And they say the difference, hate is the opposite of love, but it's really not, because if you hate somebody, that means you still care. But they also say indifference is cowardly, which I don't think it is. It's just like, I don't have any energy. My energy is not suitable for this person, place, or thing. It's not suitable to match this energy. Like, my energy is up here, at a 734 HZ, and they're down there at like maybe a 150 something in a pain frequency. They're operating out of pain and anger and hurt, and pain and hurt. And I gotta look that up and see if that's like the same thing. I'm pretty sure there's a difference, because it wouldn't be two different words. But anyway, a frequency of anger, pain, hatred, self-hatred, which translates into a hatred for other people. Because if all you have is love, in your heart, if you're really just love-filled and you're really like there to help, there's no way that you're sitting around planning bullshit for somebody else. Thinking about what you're going to say to try to get under their skin. There's no way, if you have love in your heart, that you're going to be doing it. Like, well, you can have love in your heart and you can still do it, but it's like when you sit there and just like outright plan it, and it doesn't just come out as strange as it sounds, right? Because like usually it's like an emotional thing where it's like, okay, you responded out of pain, which means there's some emotion there, but it's not good emotion. It's emotion that is toxic to your spiritual balance, right? You're too far on the spectrum of of pain. It's just like like they say, horses don't drink dirty water, and animals recognize spirits. And you'll notice these things like by what kind of people and animals you start to attract around you. Like, the whole thing is like, they want you to believe that you're the one that's attracting people like that, but that's not the case. It's the situation that would attract people that are drama filled, that are hate filled, right? It's not your energy. It's just the fact that they have a demonic energy that wants to deplete an energy like yours, and anybody around you, they will like to remove them from you, so you feel like that will speed up the process. That's what they feel like, because they forget the fact that we can refill our own cups, and man, that's just it. We could just refill our own cups. And then once you learn that and master that, it gets tiresome refilling your own cups, especially with a bunch of bullshit, which is not why I like to get out in nature, travel, get into the water for sure, man. Like, to me, the water is just my element. Like, I'm an air sign, but I'm a water baby all day. I stay on cloud nine. And right now it's just grind time. Like, it's just like I'm in my sacral energy, in my root energy, in my survival mode. Because it's just like, other avenues of work are slow. So it's just kind of like, and I have other options too. And, I have things coming up in the next few months. And it's kind of like I'm trying to find that balance of rest and relaxation, but also like work on my businesses while I do this. And I know it's going to come. And, I find that balance in faith. That the faith is like what's the name of I got to find the name for, I guess, balance beam, I cannot for the life of me think of what that. I've been thinking on it for a few days too. The middle, the part that the beam balances on. I guess that we could call that a focal point, right? And find a balance on that. But my balance is that. That's what I balance on, is faith. And sometimes I, teeter a little to the left, teeter to the light. Teeter to the light. Right, light. So, but they want to deplete you of that. They want you to go way left. And it's like, nah, you can get right or get left. It's like that. It is a no tolerant. 2025 is the year of endings, completions, endings to the bullshit, ending to illusions, and all that dumb shit. Is I guess that that's the energy I'm in right now, because I'm closing out cycles too. Like, no, this shit's gotta go. Everything must go. Maybe even you, right? That type of shit. Maybe even you. And just like things that deplete you, things that try to defeat you, things that, if it's not making you a better you, it needs to go. Like it's a year of also being like very gentle with yourself, which is hard to do when you're having to put endings on things. You have to stand, you have to stand on business. You have to stand 10 toes down on that. And that's been like my challenge for this beginning of the year, is standing on business, but also being gentle with myself, just like taking it easy, but also new beginnings. It's just like shit, which one do I do now? Yeah. So anyways, me swimming today, which I haven't done in freaking forever, like since last year, right? Early last year, mid last year, something like that. My quickest lap today was 18 seconds on top of water and 25 seconds underwater. So I'm happy about that. Hooray for me, right? So, yeah, it's just like, and then I got in the sauna for a bit in a SeaWorld. Now I'm back on the road. On my way to, lighting is pretty bad, to make some food and work on what I need to work on. Really feeling, I think I should go grocery shopping. I'm not even sure if I should do that today, because like most of the jobs I get are in the food business anyway, and I'm like, I've been wasting money on food. It's been rotting in my fridge because I don't I'm not at home eating it. So it's kind of like, it's a weird balance I have to strike with that too. So I'm like gonna, definitely be more frugal with my finances. As a matter of fact, the only thing extra I can think I need to be doing right now is my self-care and buying some flip-flops, because I hate walking on these gym floors barefooted. It's just like, it's so slimy. Matter of fact, I think I'll do that in a few minutes. It's not exactly, it's time for me to break my fast jet anyway. So yeah, it was like, and the government plays a part in it too. It's just like they want a cold and loveless world. So they want a world where people don't mind, like they're quicker to attack you than to help you. That's wild. Like the people that were in my life, I had love. I had love for them. I had offered to help them in so many different ways. Spiritual advice. Like you need money, I got it. You need a place. You need some food, I got you. But now I have to worry about me. And I think that's why the Most High puts me in these situations, because it's just like I would be helping the wrong motherfuckers, man. I would really be helping just the wrong people, man. And it's just like people who just simply did not deserve it. But it's also, there were books in the Bible where the Most High had his prophets help people who were completely unsavory, right? And there's always a reason for it. Like my whole thing is I do it from the heart. Whatever it is, it might come off as abrasive, it might come off wrong. Can't really apologize for that, because that's how it's supposed to come out at that time. Because some people were triggered into ascension with the things I posted. And everybody has their own free will, and especially as adults, and like decisions that they have to make. And and a lot of masks where people ripped off their masks on their own, really. Like I was thinking about it, that I gave thanks to these people for showing people, but that whole thing is just like, they act like they were triggered off of what I put on Facebook, but it's like, could it have been more just the situation, which was like, it was just out of place, it was out of pocket, those people were out of pocket, they were in places, following me to places that had high vibrational, high frequency people who were working on themselves, and turned it into a cesspool for garbage and gossip, right? I'm looking for something, and it messed up a lot of stuff, like it just like a whole lot. And it had no place in the establishments that it was in, but it was a good spiritual lesson, though. It's like all, because I've always been like someone. It's just like my presence, like, you know, like it doesn't matter what I do or what I don't do. I could be sitting still doing absolutely nothing. I would have somebody's or a group of people's attention. Would not matter whether these people are walked in already or walked in after or not. I'd have the attention. That was just point blank, period. And they, you know, these people loved attention. I'm like, I'm not even somebody who cares really about attention, but I know I get it. So it's just like, yeah, get used to it, get over it, right? And I did. You know, now it's just like, now people are irritated that, you know, their little antics don't really work anymore. You know, it's kind of like, I won't even say like maturity. It's more like, yeah, I'm just like, okay, I get it. You know, you want to find a reason for you being in my life the way you are, for you, the way you're showing up in my life. You want to try to justify that when you really just like, it's like my spirit irritates your demons, because it's like you really could just say nothing about me to me or anything like that, that you could, like, the people, like, they could really just keep moving and there would be no issue, like, at all. You know? But, you know, when you're getting attacked like in droves and in groups, by droves and groups, you know, it kind of makes you like respond like, hey, this isn't right. Like, you know, I'm not bothering anybody. You know, I'm just posting on my page. You know, and it's all for perspective. It's not to be harmful. It's like, you know, like, hey, I'm gonna defend myself. I'm gonna protect myself. And if you, like, the whole thing is like, these people have rapist mindsets. They don't want you to defend yourself against anything they did, because they can't even find fault in their own selves. I find fault in what I did all the time. Like, yeah, maybe it wasn't like the best delivery, but if nobody's listening to you and nobody's paying attention to what's actually going on in the situation, you know, and that you know that they're watching your page clearly, all right, because some asshole only wanted to show certain parts and certain aspects, show your page in a certain light, then yeah, you know, like, you hear a bunch of people talking about what's on your page, but you don't see the views to match. You don't see the likes, shares, subscribes, anything to match that. The algorithms do not, the math ain't mathing. All the people that are talking about my page that I have, I don't know them from a bag of rocks. I don't. Like, you know, these are complete strangers, but they know me, you know, so clearly I'm like a celebrity of some sort, right? So, famous, you know, I don't know, popular loner, which, you know, I'm definitely more lone wolf than anything, and that's how I've always been. People want to say I'm isolated. I'm really not. I'm like, actually, I'm just chill like this. I'm chill enough to stay in my own energy for copious amounts of time, you know, to the point that people would think it's excessive. And it can get dangerous. Like, being alone all the time, it can get dangerous. So it's good to have at least one good person that you can call and talk to that isn't going to run out and like scream about your business, tell your business and stuff like that. But really, I'm just used to handling it up on my own. So I kind of refrain from that until I'm just ready. I've healed from it, and there's nothing they can say or do in regards to that could come back to haunt me, come back to hurt me. All right. And this is just how I handle things. I try to speak for myself, and I also try to speak to the groups, if you can't tell them what I'm trying to do here as well. But they want to deplete you in that, thinking that, oh, you really, really do. Everybody needs somebody to talk to, at least, right? But they try to deplete you into thinking there's nobody you can talk to, you know, besides a therapist. Like, you have to spend money to talk to people, and it's just kind of like they make it to the point where they'll need to talk to you, and they have to spend money to talk to you. That's a crazy twist. So with that said, collective, yeah, keep transmuting that shit. Keep standing on business. Keep those boundaries strong. Stand strong in your beliefs, and face the stuff, and don't start none, won't be none, right? Love you guys. Appreciate you. Whoever's watching, and I would definitely appreciate some likes, shares, and subscribes. And for it to show up on my algorithms. I guess I gotta hit up YouTube about that, because there's too many people talking about it for me to have the numbers that I have, right? So yeah, there's that. Unless they're all like grouped up together watching it from a different page or some crazy shit like that, like some cult sacrifice type bullshit. It could be one of those things. But yeah, love you guys. Take care of yourselves. drink water, mind your business, and enjoy life, man. Like, it's beautiful outside right now. I mean, in a lot of different places. And make sure, your goal is to always level up and not off somebody by yourself. Level up on yourself, not off somebody else. Yeah, love you guys again. Take care. Bye.